Wasted Talent by Jim Jones. Joseph Guillermo Jones II was born in the Bronx, but grew up in Harlem, New York City. His mother is Arubian and his father is Puerto Rican. He was raised by his grandmother. He came into the music industry with Mason Cameron. After years with the Diplomats, he dropped his first solo album in 2004. He's currently doing his own thing with Vamp Life and Empire. Wasted Talent is Jones' 7th solo album. How do we feel about it?
Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, when I turned this on, man, I didn't have high expectations. I've listened to a lot of Jim Jones before. I wasn't really a huge fan of him. I like him with the Diplomats.
Gotcha.
Like, he usually fits in pretty well with them. But when I turned it on, I was fairly surprised with this project, I'd like to say. Okay. I'm assuming, which means it's an assumption, guys. I don't know for sure, that the skits on this album come from a Bronx Tale. I'm just going to assume. I never watched the movie. But anyway, never did the 3/4. I wasn't a fan of this opening up the album.
Agreed.
Like, I feel like this would have been okay somewhere around the middle of the album, but the open up the album, not so much. So, not a huge fan of that. Dustin Powder featuring Jadakiss. Good song. I really like that. Catch On Yet featuring Trav. I don't know who Trav is, but I like the vibe that he brought to the songs that he's on this album, and I like him, and I like this song. Bangin' featuring Mozzie. I like Mozzie's part. I know you're not a fan of Mozzie, but I like Mozzie's part. Gonna Play the Game featuring YFN Lucci. I was actually surprised I like this song. YFN Lucci is kind of like becoming like the new age like hook master that kind of give you a dope vibe on the song. It's kind of like Nate Dogg back in the days, but I'm starting to like YFN on the hooks, man. And I like Gotta Play the Game. Got to Be Real featuring Alexa. I think that's how you say that.
I think so too.
That was a really dope song. Yeah. That was probably one of the highlights of the album. I didn't like following it up with Epitone necessarily. It's cool. Living My Best Life is another really good song that kind of surprised me. I didn't expect songs like this on Jim Jones' album. Adidas featuring Ball Grizzly, man. I like this joint. I like it. It just I will say, I did not like the delivery he chose to use on this song at all. But I love Ball Grizzly on the hook. Ball Greasy on the hook. He killed the hook. I love the beat. Jim just change the dual remix and just pick a different pocket. I just wasn't feeling the pocket you chose on this. Chicken Fried Rice. I like what Trav brought to this joint. I could have did without Yo Gotti. The Old Way is okay. Diplomatic Community featuring Cameron. It's good to see him and Cameron doing something back together. Head Off featuring Lil Durk. Really wasn't feeling that. Pray featuring Trav. Trav did his thing again. Bag Talk with Ball Grizzly. I like Ball Grizzly. I like Ball Grizzly. Okay, Ball Greasy, man. He's actually really dope. I don't know why I keep saying Grizzly. I'm thinking of the dude from Detroit that be
T Grizzly.
Yeah, T Grizzly. That ain't got no fucking flow. But Ball Greasy got flow, and he's actually pretty dope. Still Diplomat featuring Joel Santana was actually pretty dope. It was cool to see Joel still, coming with the bars, even though it still was kind of like A, B, C, D. It's kind of simple, but it's cool to see Joel's back. Mm-hmm. And Once Upon a Time featuring Cameron, I could have kind of did without this song. I think the song would have been better suited if he would have just kept like 12, 13 tracks. Because if he would have did that, I would have gave him a B. But since he did not do that, I'm going to get his joint a C. I think it's average.
What?
I do think Jimmy stepped it up on this. This is probably the most mature I've ever heard him be in his music, period. He sounds like he's growing up. The song, he's talking about him and Chris' relationship. And, I just like that. But I just feel like some of the filler songs kind of brought the CD down. And I feel like you could have just tossed some of them songs off there, man. But hats off to Jim. I didn't expect myself to enjoy it. It was really nothing else to review this week. How you feel about it?
Yeah, man, I agree with you. Starting with the intro and Never Did 3/4 was a horrible way to start. I wasn't in tune with it. The bars were basic. I mean, you think about Jim Jones, I don't ever feel like I'm going to get anything amazing. I think he's like one of those punchline artists. He has a couple good lines here and there. But I've never really been the Jim Jones fan. If I was any fan on the whole Dipset, it'll be Joel's. That's who I used to be a fan of. But,
Cameron and Joel's. I fuck with the whole Diplomats.
Dustin Powder came on. I was like, okay, this should have been the intro track.
You can't open up the intro of an album with a guest, though. That's why.
What's wrong with that, though?
It comes off like if it's just the hook.
Okay, well,
they got a
I don't
verse.
know. I thought it was appropriate. I thought, for somebody who doesn't naturally listen to Jim Jones, he opened up that song with more of an impact than he did with Never Did 3/4.
Because he's on it with Jadakiss.
You think so? So you thought he had to bring it a little bit more? Gotcha. Catch On Yet, I agree with you. Every track Trav was on, he gave just this really good vibe. I don't know much about him, but I love what he brought to each of the tracks that he was on with Jim Jones. It's pretty cool. Bangin', I actually like Mozzie's part. I didn't like Jim Jones. I just don't know what it was about it.
I agree.
Even though I'm not a big fan of Mozzie, I do like him on that, but I'm warming up to Mozzie because he does have a lot of talent. Gotta Play the Game. I don't like Lucci, but I get what you're saying. He's becoming that go-to hook man. And even though I don't prefer him, he sounds nice on the hook. He brings that vibe to the song. He's getting that, that ear to be that go-to guy. So I understand that. Got to Be Real was dope. I loved it. I loved the, Alexa on it. I thought she was really great. I agree with you saying Epitome wasn't a nice way to follow that. It was just kind of weird. But Living My Best Life with Eric Bellinger was really dope. Adidas, I hate that song. It's not just because of Ball Grizzy.
I'm going to be blasting that. That's going on my playlist, bro.
I'm just saying, man. I
just wish I could get the hook, verses off of there.
Yeah, it's just, maybe that's what it was. I just don't like the content on it. I just feel like it's just kind of dated talk. Get off of it. Chicken Fried Rice, I thought that song was just too crowded, man. Just too much going on. The whole thing was, all right, Trav was dope on it, though. That was it. The Old Way, I thought was decent. Thought it was cool. Diplomatic Immunity, like you said, it was good to hear him Cameron again. Head Off, I did not like. I just did not like at all. I thought it was bad.
How you feel about Dirk, man?
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. But Pray was a great way to end the album. I thought that was a great way. And the bonus tracks, it was alright. It was cool. But I thought it was average. I gave it a C-. I ain't hate it. I'm just not a Jim Jones fan. But he did have some good tracks on here that I could go back and hear again. And yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I was thoroughly surprised at this project. I was just like, man, Jim Jones. I don't really want to do it, but there's nothing else out this week. I know, Tyrus has been requesting some stuff. I'm not doing a little flip, bro.
Flip drop something?
Yeah, like he got a whole bunch of stuff he been posting, but Lil Flip, man, not doing Lil Flip. Like I like Underground Legend Lil Flip. I like, the double joint from Lil Flip, but after that he was done.
Well, yeah, it sounds like Jim though. He still, I guess he's in his pocket. He still has his sound.
Question, man.
What's up?
Jadakiss.
Yeah.
I love Jadakiss. But come on, man, that dude's flow is so predictable.
Oh, Jadakiss?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It is so predictable.
I agree.
But
it sounds good though,
the
right?
slick talk. But damn, man, I just know
when
what's
he's
about
rapping,
to say
you
next.
know what he's about to say.
Yeah, it never fails, man.
Yeah.
Yo, you looking for TV reviews, music reviews, movie reviews? Then check out the only reviews that matter, man.
Yeah, just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notifications and stay tuned.